What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Busted Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. OW20 is my squirt. What's going on, everybody? How's life? Let's just get right into it, man. This Jake Paul has to go down, right? I mean, I hate to be that guy with sports where but first of all, it just boils, and they're probably doing it on purpose where they go, he's 3-0 in professional boxing. First of all, I don't know who he fought the first time. I can't remember. He fought like a nobody. I know that. And then he fought Nate Robinson, a nobody. I mean, he's a great basketball player. I mean, the guy's a legend, but Nate Robinson ain't a boxer. So then they're counting that as one. And then he just beat up Ben Askren. And I get it. Ben's like a world-class wrestler, but Ben has never been known for being a boxer. He's never been known for a puncher. I mean, yeah, he went to MMA because you got to punch a little bit, but I assume that his bread and butter is let me get you on the ground and you're freaking tapping, bud. And those are people that do that. There's people like that in the MMA world, but so this guy, like, I hate to be the guy. First of all, is it safe to say that, I mean, he's clearly smart. I mean, Jake Paul is clearly smart because he's good at marketing. He's good at being the bad guy. He's good at all that. They figured that out. No, can't take any of that away. I mean, you look at his views on YouTube and you look at mine, you go, who's the retard here? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the dum-dum? And, But when you hear Jake Paul talk, doesn't he seem like he's already like punch drunk? Doesn't he seem like he's already like, you ever see him? Like he kind of already has like a dum-dum vibe. I don't know if people are like controlling his thing or that's just his thing that he just goes. But first of all, okay, so he is 3-0. And that Ben Askren fight or whatever, Askren or whatever the hell his name is. Come on, man. You clearly see the guy can't fight. First of all, a lot of people are saying it was fixed, and I'm not even putting it out that it ain't fixed. I mean, it could possibly been a fixed fight. Not saying that a lot of boxing is possibly a fixed fight. A lot of people were complaining about the referee called it too quick. Well, the dude looked like he got freaking, knocked in his head there, and he went down. I mean, you get back up. People can get back up from being knocked around. I mean, you see it all the time in fights, and you see it all the time in boxing, where somebody's on Queer Street, and he clearly looked like he was on Queer Street, and he did get him early on. Look, the kid, Jake Paul, literally, he has a nice punch, I assume. You hear people that are into boxing, that are experts, and they talk about it. But, so he's got a decent punch, and he doesn't look bad. But the criticism with Jake Paul is he hasn't really fought anybody. It'd be like fighting me if I got in the ring with him. It'd be like fighting probably you unless you're a boxer or you trained and stuff for a certain amount of time. That's different. He's fighting people that have never, yes, Ben Askren has obviously, trained MMA. But like I said, his bread and butter is to go to the ground and get you because that's his world. His world's getting you on the ground and wrestling with you and tapping you. If they would have done that, it would have been over. It would have been over. It would have been over. Although, they had those clips of Jake Paul, saying that he wanted to wrestle Ben. He ain't going to wrestle Ben. He'll lose quick on that. That's not his world. His world right now is to like get these somewhat little names of celebrity type people and get them in a ring and then knock them out while Snoop Dogg smokes weed and talks shit while they're boxing. They keep talking about Oscar De La Hoya coming back and doing some thriller fights. Why don't they put Oscar De La Hoya up in there? Why don't you put Oscar up in there and see what he does against Ben? I think that would be a good next fight. They're not talking about that. And he probably would knock Oscar out because he's an older man. But Oscar's a boxer. I mean, Oscar's clearly he was a world-class boxer at one time, and maybe his world-class old man boxing could actually take him on. I don't know. I'm just saying, man. This guy. But what he'll do is he's going to keep doing this. And what I see with the move is it's genius. I mean, that's why he looks like a dummy and he sounds like a dummy, Jake Paul. But they're actually doing great marketing on it. They're making money. I think they said Ben Askren made $500,000 just by getting, by taking that fight and losing the fight. $500,000. I seen a meme that John Jones won a fight and he made $500,000, and Ben Askren got knocked out and he won $500,000. So it's very enticing for people to want to do this style of promotion and fight promotion, but what he's most likely going to do, and it's genius, he's going to fight a couple sloppy dudes, celebrity types that he thinks he can, he can handpick and say, I can knock him out because he's not really a boxer. He'll do that probably maybe 1 to 3 more times. And then he's going to try to take on somebody that's probably a bigger name. He's already jawing about Canelo. Listen to this right here.
Canelo's mad. He has this thing against me. He said I'm bad for the sport. I'm disrespecting it, which doesn't make sense at all. I'm actually just bringing more eyeballs, more awareness to the sport of boxing. But since Canelo, you wanted to start this beef, let's do it. Canelo.
So that's it. So he doesn't want to fight a guy like Canelo. I mean, he does with the money wise and how much he'd get much. Look, he has nothing but to gain, I guess, because it's a ton of money, and he would make a ton of money. I mean, could you imagine how many people would tune into that? Because Canelo's the guy. But does Canelo step down to his level and fight him? I mean, would he do that? And, because Canelo right now, although I'm not like a huge fan of Canelo, but game has to recognize game. The guy's a world-class boxer right now. I mean, the guy's arguably, I guess, in his prime. If he hasn't even hit it yet, he's still, I think he's a fairly young guy in the big world of sports. But Canelo will box this guy's ears off. I mean, but he will also get a big payday, most likely, because what they'll do is they'll do it in the summertime. They'll build it up big, and they'll put a lot of money behind it. And people will watch it. Okay, it would be up there almost with Conor McGregor, not as big as Conor McGregor and Mayweather because people love Mayweather and he's an excellent boxer and people loved Conor in that world and how much shit he talks and stuff like that. But it would be a big fight. I mean, it'd probably be almost 3/4 of what the Conor fight was against Mayweather. I mean, even more maybe. Who knows? They got these Paul brothers, man. They have a huge following in YouTube. Like they have a huge social media following. So they got followers that most people. It ain't like back in the day when you would get a Mike Tyson fight and it's your dad and your uncles and your cousins and you getting a Mike Tyson fight and stuff. Everybody knew about that then. With social media, man, these guys have a stretch, and now it's even growing and growing and growing. More and more people are starting to be hip to it. What's going on? But dude, that was, I don't know, man. I mean, the fight wasn't, it wasn't that great.
Jake Paul being a lot more disciplined than I thought.
Yeah, he's being much disciplined.
In the 1930s, he's about to change that shit up.
Oh, there's a left hook on the top of the head by Paul.
Hey, shit,
shot to the
body shot to them.
Yeah.
Bang, right to the motherfucking
Dude,
head.
he's a fucking bad boy, dude.
Yeah, he's a bad boy.
Jake's a bad boy.
You think I'm gonna put $2 million on a motherfucking goofball?
Snoop Dogg put $2 million on him.
Jake Paul sparred with former world champion Jean Pascal and
Get
also
my money,
cruiserweight
Jake. Get my
contender.
motherfucking money, Jake.
Yeah.
Get my motherfucking
And he just knocks him out. And he just knocks him out. But dude, as soon as you seen Ben in the ring there, he's not a boxer. I mean, clearly, it's not breaking news for people to listen. Boxing is way different than wrestling and MMA. I mean, you're only using your freaking fists, okay? And I mean, okay, I get it. Now people are going to be listening to go, no, you're using your legs, you're using this, you're using that. I know, but the things that are really hurting you are the freaking fist. I know it's a mental sport. I know all that's. I mean, I know there's stuff that I don't even know, but I know it's more than that. But with MMA, dude, you're getting smacked to the ground. You're getting kicked. You're getting, you're not doing that in boxing. You're not kicking nobody in boxing. But whatever. What's funny is now everybody wants to line up though. Like I was saying, like Canelo must have been jawing at him because I get it. Real boxers, they look at it like it's got to be a slap in the face for real boxers, especially good like dudes that are like real boxers and that are in the mud and stuff. And because they're like, dude, I'm doing excellent boxing right now, and nobody's watching, at least not numbers like they were watching for like Jake Paul, at least not money that they're making with like Jake Paul fight and stuff like that. So that's got to be a kick in the nuts for like real boxers and real people that love the sport. And another thing is they see this guy, they're like, I could mop this guy. Like this guy's like I bet there's a ton of boxers that look at Jake Paul and they go, dude, that dude's like a guy that like is just going to the gym in LA on like a Wednesday and he's like an actor or something like that type dudes that are just going in there and acting like, that they're doing something. It's like they will mop that dude. There's dudes that will mop that guy, but he won't fight those guys. He won't fight those guys. He's going to fight these bums, That's what he's going to fight, But it was interesting. Hey, whatever, man. It is what it is, dude. The guy made $500,000 off it. Why would you not? Why would you not do that? Any of us would say, yeah, I'll get in there for $500,000. Why would he not? Because another thing is people seen how happy Ben was after the fight, and look, he lost, and also he realized that he lost to Jake Paul. I mean, it would suck to get like knocked out and then you have to do a press conference after that. Could you imagine like some of the fights that you got in the back of the yard and stuff when you were growing up as a kid and they might have got the best of you. And then after that, they got to go, hey, tell us about the fight that you just had in the grass where Jimmy was on top of you. It's like, man, get the fuck out of my face. I don't want to talk about this. Let's move forward with Black Rob, man. Poor Black Rob died, man, the rapper, the ex-Bad Boy great. I remember Black Rob coming out. I remember when the hit song "Whoa" came out. I love "Whoa." It was a great beat. It was excellent beat. And dude, Black Rob like instantly became a star. I always said, because I remember when "Whoa" came out. I remember it, and it came out a little early. It came out like I don't know. I felt like it came out early spring. Right. And it was on the rise, and it went to the top of like people that listen to hip hop. And then, but I felt like it came out too early because it could have been a summer classic. And I'm sure it was a summer. I mean, I'm sure people were banging that for the whole summer, but I remember they put it out too early in like springish, because guess what came up right after that? Nelly. Country Grammar, I'm pretty sure. I mean, people listen to this again. You could say that's not how it came out. That's how my memory remembers it. Because I remember always thinking this about how they put "Whoa" out too early for the summer, and it didn't make it to the summer like it should have. Like they should have dropped that in like June, and it would have made it all the way through the summer. But what they did was they put it out a little early. Nelly Country Grammar came out, and not saying that Nelly would have never been a star. Of course, Nelly would have been a star, but it instantly went to the top. Like Nelly just basically like bumped it out of the way and then went running, and that's how Nelly had his career. But arguably, if "Whoa" would have came out after Country Grammar, "Whoa" could have maybe dominated the summer. I don't know how that's how it works, but that's how my mind was working. I remember that because it was a great song, man. And to think that Black Rob died at 51. I had a grandpa that died at 51 of liver cirrhosis. This guy had a kidney problem, and I don't know why he had a kidney problem. I didn't read up on the history of what Black Rob's been doing since the years of "Whoa" came out. But dude, to die at 51, that is very young. Very young. You're looking and listening to a 45-year-old man right here. And to think that this guy was like off the earth 6 years later from where I'm at, 5 years later from where I'm at. It's very sad, man. Very sad. And it's crazy how we just lost, not even to put, look, Black Rob was an excellent rapper. He's an excellent, no disrespect, but I mean, we lost a great like DMX, and then we lose, it's crazy how we're starting to lose, people from certain generations. We're starting to lose those guys. We're starting to lose great rappers. Isn't that crazy to think that you're losing great rappers? And to think that, and it happens because, rock and roll guys, they die young. They die at a certain age and stuff like that. You lose John Bonham type guys. You lose freaking Gonzo type guys and stuff like that. You lose those people. So we're used to, I guess we got used to rock stars going out, but to think that rappers are starting to go out, like, because I always wondered how are we going to look at rappers when they become old? When they got like an old face, they got like an old body, and are we going to be able to celebrate them? Because we should be able to celebrate them. But dude, again, there's going to be some rappers that are clearly not going to make it to those ages, and we're not going to be able to sell. I mean, it's just sad, man. 51 years old, and you're already dying. That is very sad, man. That is a tragic. That's bad, man. It's not good. I don't really want to talk much about it, but because every podcast I get on it where it somehow ends up talking like some kind of politics type thing or anything. But to think that Sharon Osbourne I think she got let go of the talk, the morning show or afternoon show with all those fucking ladies on there talking and being a bunch of hens. To think that she got let go off of that just because of sticking up for Piers Morgan, which basically Piers Morgan was just criticizing Meghan Markle. And I always say her name wrong. So if I'm saying it, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, I guess he's not even Prince Harry anymore. When they, Meghan Markle went on Oprah and Prince Harry went on to Oprah. And then he was just basically criticizing them, saying like, hey, why are you guys talking, all this about, the monarchy or whatever like that? Why are you guys doing that? Like, he's basically saying things like a lot of people were saying. They were saying like, why are you Why are you criticizing the tabloids that were talking about you? But you just go on Oprah, and I'm sure you made a boatload of money on Oprah because Oprah got like 70 million views, and it made a boatload off of whoever the CBS or whatever she aired it under. I know she made a boatload, and I know they made a chunk of money too. They're not going to give up their story for that. And all Piers Morgan was, which he was a morning show on Good Morning Britain, was just criticizing that, and they attacked him. And they attacked him because Meghan Markle is half white, half black. And no, wait, is she half white, half black? Yeah, I think she's half white, half black. But nowadays she says, hey, no, I'm standing on the black side. And they were being racist against her, which, again, they probably might have been a little bit racist against her. I don't know. I don't know that. I'm not paying attention to that. But also Princess Diana, like I said on past podcasts, Princess Diana got harassed by the tabloids big time over there. Clearly, she lost her life as they're chasing her and getting in a horrible car accident. But Princess Diana was white as snow. I mean, she was a straight up white lady, and they harassed her, and that's just what they do. And all Piers Morgan was saying was like, look, why are you guys throwing mud? Why are you pointing fingers and being, because they were saying, oh, it was, the skin color of the baby. They were concerned about the skin color of the baby that they had coming. And like it was going to be darker or not. And then Oprah goes, who said that? And she goes, I don't want to say. And it's like, so you basically are just putting it on all of them then, because everybody's looking at him like, which one of you guys are the racist? And Piers Morgan was just criticizing stuff like that, which he's a morning show guy. He could bring up that, he can criticize that. And then they attacked him and they attacked him and they attacked him and he had to resign. And then Sharon Osbourne, which is friends with Piers Morgan for years, just made comments on, just kind of backing him and stuff and made her comments about it. And then they attack her saying how insensitive is about racism, like they always do. Everything's always about racism, and which is so tiring. And which, first of all, if anybody's ever looked at Meghan Markle, I watched her on that show Suits. I never even knew she was I didn't think she was black at all. And I get it. It comes that way. I get it. Life comes that way. But when I looked at her, I just thought she was a hot chick. I watched that show because 30% she was like a hot chick at the time. But I never even thought about her being black. I didn't know she was black. Who knew? But nowadays they don't even want you to even criticize anything or even bring up any other side of like the thinking. Otherwise, they're going to scratch your face off. And people have been listening to this podcast for years now. I've been talking about that. They don't want you to get out of line. They want you to stay in line and don't get out of line. And if you get out of line and go, hey, I don't really like this too much, they're going to scratch your face off. Or, hey, what about this? Or you think about it this way? Scratch your face off. Get back in line, bud. You're getting off topic. You're getting off brand. And if you don't freaking get back on topic, you're out of here. And that's what they do. That's the move. Get on topic, get in line, or we're going to scratch your face off, or you're going to kick you out of here. We're going to kick you off social media. We're going to kick you off the freaking TV. We're going to ban you from all the Twitters and everything. You're not putting any videos. Anybody that puts you on those videos, we're going to demonetize those videos. We're going to penalize those people, and we don't want to hear it because they only want you to hear one side of the story. That's it. I don't know if you notice this when they kick people off social media. They only want to tell you one side they only want to tell you one story, and they don't want anybody to hear other sides of the story and other ways to think about that. They just want to keep feeding you their brainwashing, and they just want you to keep spoon feeding their like this is what you should be thinking like, and don't think any other way. And that's where we want to be at. These are the people that you want controlling your media. These are the people that you want them controlling your social media. They want to teach your kids. Is that what you want? Because if that's what you want, good for you. You're not really doing much critical thinking. But if that's what you want, good luck with that, bud. See how long that's going to go and see where this is going. Okay? Because you see where it's going. You see where it's going, right? I mean, if you don't see where this is going, they're trying to take away your First Amendment because what they did was the government can't take away your First Amendment, right? They'll do their best. I mean, trust me. I mean, look what they're doing. They put Julian Assange, which I know he's not an American citizen, but freedom of speech should be across the world. Like when you that's one thing that should just be across the world. The world. When people go all about rights, freedom of speech should be one thing that just goes all the way around the world, every direction where you can't touch people. It should be able to do that, but it doesn't. All right. So somebody like Julian Assange has to hide in an embassy and then they throw him in a cage because he's releasing information. That's critical information. And they go, no, get in a cage. You put out critical information that we didn't want the public to see. Okay, that's cool. So they're constantly working on trying to take away the First Amendment. And what they did was they know everybody's on social media now. So that's where the town square's at. So what they did was they just have the social media platforms just, take people off, silence them, because then they can't get penalized like a government because they're in bed with the government. That's why they have that Section 230 or whatever it's called. They're in bed with the government. They're in bed with all the governments. And also they got a stack of money. And again, like I've said before I get out of here for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks now, tech companies have nothing but to gain from what's going on right now. They have nothing but to gain. They have nothing but to gain with people rioting, because when people riot, they burn down buildings, and people don't want to have business owners don't want to have brick and mortar no more. They'll just go, hey, well, I just go online. I don't need to have this business. So when you go online, guess what? You need everybody's online paying service, big tech. You need the way that they move it around. You need everything about big tech when you have an online store. Okay. And with social media, you better play nice, because if you say something wrong on social media and you have a business, we're going to rip you off that social media, and then you can't push around your goods around that business. So that's another way to make you act like a little good boy and a little good girl. That's right. And then, and again, they have nothing but to gain. Shipping all this stuff around, you're using their technology, you're using their products, and they have nothing but to gain. And so does Big Pharma. Big Pharma has nothing but to gain right now with all this also. They have nothing but to gain with what's going on with Corona and the riots and everything like that. Guys, Bustin' Balls podcast on most platforms. If you do like the podcast, please share it. If you don't like the podcast, kick rocks. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Maybe once you put some shit on the internet and I'll watch it. Maybe I don't like it, you fucking pussy coward. OW20 is my squirt. This is a white-owned podcast. I say that because it sounds ignorant and stupid, just like how everybody else says their stupid shit about their skin color. It's dumb. Just buy the shit if you like it, not because somebody's skin color. It's like saying I only buy people that have red hair, business owners. Yeah, do you have red hair? I'm going to buy your product because I just support people with red hair. It's ignorant. It's stupid. Grow up. You're a fucking simple thinker. And again, Eric Pennell Comedy. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope everything's going well with your life. And if it's not, snap out of it. Start thinking positive. Keep those goddamn negative people away from you. Keep the toxic away from you. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's best friends since you're 5 years old. If it ain't good for you, it ain't good. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay? When it does work, it does work. Okay? Stay positive. Go get everything you want to get, and let's do some stuff. Let's make hay while the sun's still shining. Thank you so much for listening, guys.